Natus Vincere is falling apart, and the solution to the problem sounds brutal, and it involves simple. My name is Bert Burnington, I love talking about Counter-Strike, and if you do too, please consider down subscribing and liking, it would be very much appreciated. Navi are slowly capitulating and the cracks are showing. We have all seen the controversial video from ESL Season 21, and if you haven't, check it out.
Nice!
Oh god. Alexi, let me go connect next time if I have first one. I was very close to it.
Let's go. Fucking play one round without saying something after.
No,
really?
bro, what? It's good.
Bro, it's fine.
Just chill out.
Sometimes you have to tell your teammates to, shut up. That's just how it is. I think that's good leader mentality. And analyst Maui Snake agrees with me on that.
Yeah, for the AleksiB emo clip, I also just think like when you're working with people this closely, you can just stay a little bit more to them. If you're working with someone for like 2 years, you might snap at them on something eventually. It is kind of the HR snowflake era of people just thinking that anything that is even lightly disparaging to another person is just way too far and gone. And it's
Sure.
like, I also do think that a little bit of sternness at times just to move on is important.
So we're on the same page, because I think we have to toughen up a little bit more, And Navi's own Imma said this about his captain spewing hatred and toxicity at him in the game, in this interview.
There's been maybe a surprising amount of frustration in the communication from the outside looking in. Can you shed any light on that? What's going on? You guys are coming off of a break into this tournament. Is there some frustration? Is there some friction, or are we missing context?
I think that clip, it was clearly out of context. So obviously it was very out of context, which we don't like. Like ECL put, I think Alexi said at one point that, what the fuck, we are happy, we are smiling, cheering everyone for each other, and then we have one discussion, let's say, and then they post this clip, which is not a good way in our opinion, but it is what it is. They post it, and then people will speak about it,
Do I think Imma and AleksiB hate each other? Of course not. But after 2 years of playing with each other, traveling around the world, sleeping with each other, sleeping in the same rooms together, playing with each other, like, don't you think you get a little bit sick of each other? And that's what this is all about. I can show you that this outburst wasn't an isolated event, and we have seen more occurrences. There's been a slew of headlines over the last year about this. Like this one from JL, where he says, "I don't want to admit it, but it feels like we're all fatigued. Maybe we're getting a little bit tired of each other, we're spending so much time together." This was from October last year. Would things miraculously gotten better in the last 5-6 months? He went on to say, "No, it's not like a lot, but sometimes people can get on your nerves. And it's not toxic, it's just that constructive criticism at times can be overwhelming when you're stressed and fatigued." As much as I believe fatigue and stress are major issues to any high caliber team, I think there's one big issue that is not talked about enough. The social economic state of the world. And it pains me to say, because I'm a huge fan of this player, and I really like him. But I fear AleksiB is losing the locker room. And you can ask, "Bert, what do you base this on?" And I say, all the stuff I said before, like, are you not listening? I have more, just listen. AleksiB has a history of losing his team and losing the morale. Losing the trust of his team is a recurring issue for the Finn. And we already saw it in 2019 when he got kicked in a surprise move from the Ents lineup, who were at a level that the team didn't manage to achieve after kicking Alexi. Quick asterisk though, I believe this was mostly Alu being a diva and putting his personal preferences ahead of everybody else in the team's goals, but because I feel like the animosity had to come from somewhere. Then AleksiB joined OG. And if we have to believe Flames, this same occurrence, the Imma incident, happened as well.
You saw the clip that Alexi was like telling I am like yeah mate, it didn't happen like that, like it's not like someone told Alexi something and he got mad at him, but there was many things that I didn't understand when Alexi said them to us, like criticized us. So in the game it was like good energy, but sometimes it was tough for me to like I felt like people got like really toxic in the sense and more quiet and you're quite down, but everybody's quite down with you, and you want those kind of experienced players to
bring you up,
lift you up, to show their experience and so.
Are you saying that doesn't seem like out of character from your experience?
No, like I don't know how it is for them because I think Blade said like every game they have like a fight or something.
Okay.
But
Jesus.
like
I mean, you can tell from watching it, like they do get like
heated,
chip heated.
But I think it's
After an unsuccessful OG period, he had the chance to join G2 Esports with Monacy and Nico on the lineup. And after a, in my opinion, outrageously short 7-month stint with G2 Esports, it shows that the vibes were not, stellar. And this clip shows it.
One over the line, turning it around and snatching it back from the jaws of Imperial.
Yeah.
Man, that was not comfortable. That was not easy, but they are able to get...
And then he went to NIP, where he only got kicked after 9 months of playing on the team. And before you all think, oh, AleksiB is terrible IGL, confirmed. No, we all know no one can achieve anything with NIP. Look at how cursed this lineup and organization is. Like, look at what AleksiB said. Hopefully, we aren't gonna have any changes for a while. And then 7 days later, this headline pops up. Config joins NIP as Hampus goes on break. That's 7 days. That's just silly, no? And then 6 months later, they bring Hampus back just to kick Aleksi. So, like, Aleksi didn't have his lineup or, like, the lineup that was supposed to happen because Hampus was out for 6 months. It's just silly. It's just silly. Don't take NIP stints serious, all right? Look at Snappy right now. You can't get anything done there. If you want to see a video about all the gross incompetence from the NIP organization, leave a like or subscribe and tell me that I should make one. It's gonna be like 2-3 hours video or something just to cover the last 2 years of their... It's just silly. This organization is a fucking joke. But is AleksiB losing his team once again? Well, I am not the only one saying this, with ex-mouse coach Regin, cheater, but saying this in an episode of Snake and Banter.
I think, like, from my standpoint, it's never good to have to talk like that during a game. Like, you don't want that. You want positive vibes and stuff like that. So what it tells me is that it tells me that people are starting to questioning Aleksi. And it tells me that people are starting to question it because what he's basically saying is that every time I'm making a call, it's going to be questioned the round after, or they should have changed it somehow or whatever, right? That's what I'm hearing.
So will Navi implode, or how do they prevent implosion? How do you prevent this from happening? Kick AleksiB? Bring fresh blood into the server? Maybe add simple? Even analyst and commentator Sponge says it's a very difficult decision in the latest episode of Talk and Counter.
We talk about who potentially makes a roster change or whatnot. Does Navi need to make one? Where do we...
The Navi one's the hardest because, like, for my mind, it would be, like, Wonderful actually played the best in the series that they lost against the Mongols. I don't know where the problems for that team are. Obviously, we saw the bickering and then the way that it was explained away, and this happens every game, and it's a competitive environment, or maybe not every game, but it's going to happen. The problem then falls back to the initial issue we had with Navi. They peaked with the major win in Copenhagen last year, and that was based off of really good team Counter-Strike. And then after that point, they were still playing good base level team Counter-Strike, but every tournament, a different individual or a different pairing would have pop-offs. Like, you'd have a big Bit tournament, or you'd have a big JL tournament, or you'd have Imma in a good form, or you'd have Wonderful being consistent on the orb. Now, like, you're having these players arguing in the middle of the game. You're having, like, JL in the match saying, I fucking hate CS2, fuck this game, right? They're not delivering what they were delivering before, and that's frustrating to the unit. So how do you get players back in form?
Well, this is the point where you think I'm gonna say minus someone plus simple. But as much as I want to see him back in Navi and back in the game, I'm scared. Wonderful? I don't think so. He was a top 11 player last year. Debatable. And also, simple, he doesn't want to op. He said he wanted to be a rifler. And imagine that. Just have Wonderful on the op. And he can give the op sometimes away to Simple, and I think Simple will be very happy with that. And then you have Bit, and then you have that Ukrainian core back again, and then you get that nice Ukrainian flag back behind the logo on HLTV. You know, I like that. But if not Wonderful, who else? You can't say JL, but like, he's a support player. If you take that out, then there's no support. Or AleksiB has to play support too. Or, you know, the most logical one you would think is Imma, but he has been just getting better and better, and it's just like... But the biggest thing is, the reason why Simple is not gonna come back to Navi is because of all the reasons I listed earlier. Things are already hanging on a thread and are so fragile because of the pressure and the fatigue, and bringing Simple in that, who is quite vocal and quite demanding, is like bringing a raging bull into a china shop. And even their coach Blade has already voted against bringing the GOAT back into the roster once before, when they won the major. S1mple's contract is running out at the end of 2025, and Navi are in this incredibly awkward position to see if they want to re-sign the GOAT or just want to make it run out and not make a single cent off, you know, his contract. That's a tough decision. So what do? I have a bit of a crazy idea. Maybe you kick AleksiB, make Imma the primary IGL, and bring S1mple in Alexi's spot. And I know it's crazy, but if you look at how unbeatable Vitality is, with just having firepower all across the board, and with even Apex being an above average fragger for an IGL, it seems to be the meta right now. And I'm not the only one who thinks this is the new meta.
I'll be honest with you, I'm not entirely confident that that kind of like hardcore system Counter-Strike without star players can work anymore. Vitality is going to cause like an arms race of picking up just like pure talent.
It's like Monacy to Navi, right? Like, did we...
It went out of focus. It's back.
That's right.
Oh, okay.
And with a world-class coach, if not the best, behind them, insane firepower in every position, shouldn't that become the new powerhouse? Then it doesn't sound that crazy, now does it? They have all the pieces. Now they have to make a decision what they're gonna do with it. And speaking of decisions, you have to decide if you want to subscribe to this channel. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Bert Burnington. I love making these little videos, and I hope you guys appreciate it too. What do you think Navi should do to get back to that top 1 position? Is it one of the things I listed earlier? Or do you have a better idea? Or do you just think, Bert, up? Which is fair. I get it. Thank you very much again, and I see you in the next video. Bye.